What it do, bruh? Talk of the town, Nintendo, Doc Trey, still holding it down, still make the best games, and you know this, bro. It's the truth. If you don't like it, you can have that seat though. Alright, so here I will be discussing two things. First, I'm going to give my little quick impressions on Twilight Princess HD that I picked up yesterday. And then also I'm going to be discussing the controversy of why this is priced the way it is, and so on. Now, I'm going to try to make this kind of quick because I'm hungry. I'm trying to get those definitive pork chops jumping off. So anyway, picked up the game yesterday, and it's cool. It's a business. I was actually playing this game, believe it or not, for 6 hours freaking straight. Didn't even realize I was playing it that long. I started playing the game. I was being lazy. I didn't go to Best Buy to pick it up right away. Didn't end up going there until like 1:30 p.m. or something like that. Got home, ate, played the game from 2 p.m. to like 8 p.m. just straight. Anyway, so first thing you notice about the game when you boot it up is that it looks a lot better on your TV than the videos online will have you believe. Now, it's not this amazing visual experience, but there are several parts of the game where you're like, oh, okay, that looks pretty good. Now, and it's funny too, because you'll see like a lot of the creatures and a lot of the spirits in the game, and now you finally see what they actually look like, because on the Wii version and the GameCube version, a lot of times they just look like a bunch of blurry mess. But now you look at it and you're like, oh, that's how that was supposed to look. Crazy. Cool. It's pretty funny. But no, the game looks good. It runs well. Is it as good as I remember it? Yeah, for the most part, aside from some of the writing is like, wow, really that's what they did. But the game is definitely worth a purchase. Now, regarding the price of this game. Now, I've seen a bunch of people say, oh, this is a ripoff. I can get this on the mod on my PC. Wind Waker HD looks way better, and so on and so on. Now, regarding Wind Waker HD versus Twilight Princess HD. Now, I've seen a lot of people say that Wind Waker HD looks way better and looks like it has had more work done to it than Twilight Princess HD. Now, I can see why you think that, but if you think that more work was actually done for Wind Waker HD than Twilight Princess HD, sorry to tell you, that means you don't know what you're talking about. Now, there is a reason why Twilight Princess HD was chosen first for the remaster, and they already told you this. Nintendo already told you this. They tested both of them, and Wind Waker HD showed the biggest difference at the time. Now, the reason why it showed the biggest difference is because the main thing that they changed about Wind Waker HD was adding bloom lighting. They changed the lighting structure. Now, here is the funny part. So I seen a lot of people are like, well, why didn't they just change mess with the lighting on Twilight Princess HD? Well, two reasons. One, they didn't want to change the look of the game. They wanted to preserve the look of the game, but in HD. Two, they didn't change it because you guys already complained when they did that for Wind Waker HD. See, you guys have very small memory banks, apparently, because when Wind Waker HD was first shown, there was a ton of people talking about, oh, it's Bloom City, this looks horrible, what did they do to the colors, blah, 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 blah. And then there was smart people like me that was like, no, it looks good. Like, what are you guys talking about? It looks way better than the original. But there was a lot of people saying that it made the game look worse somehow, and I'll stick to my GameCube version, blah, blah, blah. Now, they're mad that Nintendo listened to them and didn't go that route with Twilight Princess HD. But make no mistake, Twilight Princess HD has had just as much work, if not more work done to it than Wind Waker HD did. The textures, some of the textures are completely redone. There's more detail. See, Wind Waker HD, there wasn't necessarily more detail. The textures were sharper because it was at 1080p, but the main big difference was the lighting. Twilight Princess, the main big difference was everything else. There's just as much work done to Twilight Princess HD or more than Wind Waker HD. Might not look like that to you. It's because you technically don't know what you're talking about. So, on to the price. Now, I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh man, this is a ripoff. How could they charge full price for this game?" And all this stuff, right? Now, if you guys don't know, the way they have the pricing set up, originally, the game was supposed to be $50 standalone, and then have a limited edition amiibo bundle for $60, and it had the content locked away on the amiibo, which we found out wasn't even nothing to scream about anyway. So people was complaining about that, myself included. And then Nintendo decided to just have everyone be all the physical copies, at least in the US, be an amiibo bundle. And if you wanted the digital version, you can get that for $50, but you can't buy the amiibo individually yet. And I say yet because they're definitely gonna sell the amiibo standalone. If you think they're not, you're freaking silly. Look what happened with the Animal Crossing amiibos. They split them up, didn't they? So people were complaining about the price. Now, does this mean that I necessarily agree with the pricing of this game? No. I honestly think that, not just based on the work that was done on the game, but based on the Wii U's current situation, they should have priced this game probably around the Captain Toad pricing. Should have been $40 standalone, physical, without an amiibo. That's what I think. I think that would have been a better gesture. I know the game is technically still $50, but I think it should have been $40 without the amiibo. Give people that option, and actually $50 with the amiibo. That's what I think Nintendo should have done. Now, I do see why Nintendo priced this game the way they did. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, this game is super old, and there's already been remasters and collections that were this same price or cheaper, and blah, blah, blah. And that's true. But when you factor that stuff in, you have to actually factor in how much those games cost now. Now, I seen, like take for example, I seen people mention, like, say, the Uncharted collection, because that's pretty much considered the best deal for an HD remastered collection thus far, because you get all three Uncharteds, and it was $60, right? Now we're gonna go with $60 because that's how much it costs at launch. We're not gonna go by whatever sale price it costs now, because the game's been out for a while now. So you got all three Uncharteds for $60. Now, and then Twilight Princess HD is technically $50 or $60, or however you look at it, for the one game. Now, as I said before, you need to factor in how much those games actually freaking cost. Now, let's check out how much the Uncharted games actually cost. we can get the original Uncharted on Amazon is $11.89. Okay. Uncharted 3 is $13.28. Uncharted 2, which is considered the best game in the series, $8.68. So there we have roughly what was that, like $30? I don't know. I'm not even paying attention. About $30, I guess. I don't know. Somebody's gonna correct me in the comment section. About $30, and they're selling the collection, or they were selling the collection for $60. Now, what people struggling to forget is that those games are short. They're short, and in the collection, there's no online. Let me put things into perspective for you a bit. Just beating the base game of Twilight Princess takes roughly twice as long as it takes you to complete the entire Uncharted trilogy. Wrap your brains around that for just 1 second. You guys are looking at how many games are in the bundle, but not looking at how much content there actually is there. Now, if the Uncharted collection had the online for all of those games, that might be a different story. But the fact is, it doesn't. The fact is, Uncharted games take under 9 hours a piece to beat. And that's a fact. Now, and honestly, in comparing that to Twilight Princess, that's not including any of the side quests or any of that stuff like that. But Twilight Princess as a game for a first time player takes at least about 55 hours or so to beat. And you add all the Uncharted, the whole collection up to, even you can throw 4 in there, it's still not going to add up to that amount of gameplay for as far as a single player experience. Now, I told you how much the Uncharted games cost on the PS3. Now, here is the main reason why this game, Twilight Princess HD, is priced at the price it is. Look at this. The GameCube version of Twilight Princess is going for $139.89 on Amazon. And if you look at here, it says 1 left in stock. That means there are niggas still buying this. This is not no eBay listing. People are actually paying over $100 for the GameCube version of Twilight Princess. And you probably ask yourself, well, why is this? The reason they were paying and still paying that amount for this version is because this is the unmirrored version. It's Zelda purists that are paying this amount for this game. They don't like left-handed Link from the Wii version, and they don't want it mirrored. They want the game as it was originally intended, and they're willing to pay the price for it. Now, the Wii U version, Twilight Princess HD, is based on the GameCube version. So, unless you buy at this price, unless you want to pay over $100 and something for Twilight Princess, if you want the unmirrored version, you have to buy Twilight Princess HD. This is why this game is the price it is and why Nintendo can get away with it. Because people will pay over $100 for the freaking GameCube version. The GameCube version didn't even have widescreen or nothing. Like, people will buy it. But the real funny part is I've seen people not specifically people in the YouTube community, but I've seen people online personally that bragged about finally copping a GameCube version of this game for well past $60. But when they announced that Twilight Princess HD was going to be a regular price Wii U game, they said, oh my gosh, what a ripoff. It's like, nigga, you just paid $80 to $100 or more for a used copy of a GameCube game, of the same game, of an inferior version. Like, how are you going to call something a ripoff? I just thought that was pretty funny. But moral of the story is, the reason this is priced the way it is and will probably stay priced the way it is because it's still considered valuable. I'm looking at this, even the Nintendo Wii version is still going for $40 now. Like, it's going for that much because people think it's worth it. Not so much on the other games. Deal with it.